Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips a balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, this is from Truth for Kyle Brennan. Scientology and the death of Kyle Brennan. Always got to have a corrupt cop or cops behind Scientology, don't we? I'm just reading, so last time I checked, it's free to read an article or a blog post. Officer Rockwell Silva, Maui Police Department. There he is. There he is. I don't know. He looks like maybe he could be corrupt, you guys. What do you think? Do you think he's corrupt? Officer Rockwell Silva, Maui Police Department. I am seeking information regarding Rockwell Silva, mentioned in this video, at 9:48 to 10:55. Silva committed perjury in the federal wrongful death case of my 20-year-old son, Kyle Brennan, in Florida. Any information you can provide may be of help. Hold on. I want to go to that. Hold on, guys. Okay, I went and checked that video out. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Soft White Underbelly ever since it came out that he was... I had watched BJ Investigates or That Surprise Witness, and she explained and showed evidence and proof of him interviewing a very young girl about prostitution, which, you know, minors, children don't have any free will in that. He did some really creepy things, but this woman right here was stating how she knew that the Maui Police Department was corrupt. So you guys can go check it out if you'd like. Obstruction of justice in the wrongful death of Kyle Brennan. I told the Albemarle County officer that I was worried about Kyle, who had lived a sheltered life and had thousands of dollars in cash, gold, and silver in his possession. I did not know where Kyle was, so I asked the officer, could they please help me find him? The officer sympathized but said he could not write a report because of the law. What does that sound like, you guys? That sound like gaslighting or being unlawful? Does that sound like a police officer being unlawful? It does to me. Anytime someone wants to file a police report, it's supposed to be on record. You guys know what's up. Imagine saying something crazy like that. The cop says he could not write a report because of the law. I mean, like, think about that, you guys. I'm not an expert in the law or police work, but, like, you guys know better. I know better. When I told him that Kyle was taking medication, the officer told me to look to see if Kyle had taken it with him. He had. When the officer asked how much he had taken, I stated that he had more than one filled prescription. Just so everybody knows, this is some type of... this is a medication for psychiatric or mental health reasons. The most significant aspect of Kyle buying his own Lexapro at Walmart is that he knew he needed extra for his trip. and it confirms he knew he needed his Lexapro. Contrary to the police notes on page 14 of the official report, the treating psychiatrist, Dr. McNamara, stated at his deposition that he never talked to Investigator Scholl. There you go. And more importantly, he never would have told her, nor anyone, that there are no major side effects. If one were to stop suddenly taking Lexapro. McNamara at 160 to 161, Exhibit 3. In the police report, Thomas Brennan states he took the Lexapro from Kyle. You guys know who Thomas Brennan is? Do you guys know who Thomas Brennan is? That is Kyle Brennan's father, Scientologist. I wish she would have outed which officer this was. I really do. Examination by attorney Robert Potter for the defendants. The Church of Scientology and Flag Services. Deposition dates. Okay, now this, she did talk about which officer. Officer Silva, Maui Police Department. United States District Court, Middle District of Florida, Tampa Division. Estate of Kyle Thomas Brennan, by and through its administrator, Victoria L. Britton. Plaintiff versus Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization Incorporated, Denise Miscavige Gentile. Is that David Miscavige's sister? Gerald Gentile and Thomas Brennan. Defendants. Continued deposition of Victoria L. Britton, Volume 2 of 2. 9 a.m. to 12:13 p.m. June 17th, 2010. Charlottesville, Virginia. Deposition of Officer Rockwell Silva. Taken on behalf of the defendant Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization, Incorporated, at the offices of Ralph Rosenberg, Court Reporters, 2233 West Vineyard, Suite A, Wailuku, Hawaii, commencing at 10:09 a.m. on July 2nd, 2010, pursuant to notice. Before, Jessica R. Perry, CSR number 404, certified shorthand reporter. You know 44 is death number. Just letting you know. You don't believe me? Just go do some research. Appearances for the plaintiff: Kenan G. Dandar, Dandar and Dandar, PA, Post Office Box. For the defendant Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization. Exhibit 2, Victoria Britton Declaration. Hold on. Five. Without question, I purchased the prescription Lexapro for my son Kyle, since it was first prescribed in January 2008 by Dr. Stephen McNamara. Every bottle was purchased by me at the same CVS drugstore in my hometown from January to the end of November 2006. When Mr. Potter produced at my deposition the picture from the Clearwater Police, well, you guys know they're straight, Right. Of the Lexapro bottle from Walmart dated November 24th, 2008. Or was that... I can't tell, is that a 6? Oh, 2006. I was bewildered, to say the least, since I have never purchased a prescription from Walmart. This is what cover-up looks like, you guys. 6. I recently acquired from the Walmart databases the exact time that this bottle of Lexapro was purchased. It is 2:14 p.m. You guys know they didn't have cameras then, right? I don't think they did. Nothing camera footage couldn't prove, right? To further confirm the impossibility of me purchasing the November Walmart Lexapro at the date and time of purchase, 2:14 p.m. on November 24th, Black Friday, I was busy at work at Lynn Goldman Design at Barracks Road Shopping Center from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. without interruption. In fact, lunch was brought in for workers that day so that we did not have to leave the store. Since no one else would ever purchase my son's Lexapro except me, which I confirmed, this means that my son Kyle purchased the Walmart Lexapro. Attorney Robert Potter excerpts from the deposition of Victoria Britton. Attorney Potter knew the content of Silva's testimony 2 weeks before his deposition. Britton's deposition was taken on June 17, 2010. And are you aware that your son reported to the police in Maui, Hawaii, that he was not taking his medication because he did not feel the need to do so? Tell me that's not weird, you guys. Do you believe or disbelieve that? Answer. This is the mom. It would be very hard to. No. Kyle is not here to speak for himself, so I have no comment on that. He is not here to speak for himself, and that contradicts what he has told other people. Emails from attorney Ken Dandar. Subject Maui Depot. It's a deposition, July 3rd, 2010. I don't believe that for a minute. And that is not what he said to me. He never even mentioned that he asked Kyle about his medication. This is what a crooked cop looks like, you guys, in my opinion. Wow, what a liar. Why did he say that? He would not have recalled that after 3.5 years. It's what a crooked cop looks like, you guys. Plenty of them out here. Detective AHHH, dated July 3rd, 2010, 7:47 a.m. Do you think the Maui police lied to help out fellow detective blank blank blank? He never mentioned the part about medication, a very odd thing to leave out of a conversation with the mom. Exactly. Don't you think? He never mentioned that recall to Detective Brown. Wait a minute. Very important information, Detective Aha. Wait a minute. It wasn't Detective Aha who spoke to Kyle. Yeah, there you go, you guys. It was 2 of his officers. He would not have recalled the conversation because he never had it. When the detective called me, he said that it was his officers who found Kyle and spoke with him, not him. I will put this in an affidavit. I wrote that information down after the phone call. And we've all seen how much truthful affidavits help when it comes to Scientology. Sorry, I don't know what it's looking like on your screen, guys, but I have to read this. Here it is, 7/3/2010. The depot was of Officer Silva. Listen to this, you guys. Whew. He spotted Kyle at a 7-Eleven, and the detective Ka came and questioned Kyle. What Silva added was that Kyle left home because of the meds. But that makes no sense, since he took the meds with him. The report says that Kyle did not need the meds because he was feeling okay. Boy, that's not like, that doesn't have Scientology screaming all over, does it? Silva did not write the report. Kaaz did. Cell number blank, 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 Hawaii. Get that out of there. Kyle stayed at the MAUI resort. Then they say the address, the arrival time. A camping tent was purchased 1/26/2007 at a Kmart store. And then they give the location. Attorney Robert Pata Silva's deposition was taken on July 2nd, 2010. Question. Okay, I was told those reports might have been purged from your system, so I wasn't sure if you were able to get a copy or not. Not sure who's saying that. Well, did you have conversations with Kyle Brennan? Yeah. Wow, you guys, listen to this. Unreal. Unreal. And then did you report this? Oh. What did I just do? Okay, I'm going to read the whole thing. Hold on a minute, you guys. I don't know why I can't get to the whole thing. Okay, here. Okay, first of all, the report appears to have been written by an officer, Ka'a, but it seems to be talking about the events that you were involved with. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. My opinion, and what I'm observing, it seems like perjury by a police officer. What a stretch. Do you recall what he said when you told him that people were worried about him? Wow, you guys. I believe he said that he was out. He had to take care of his own business. That was fine with me. He's an adult, sir. Listen to this, you guys. Oh, boy. Now you guys seeing why my videos don't get millions of views? Right. Anything else that he said about that particular question? When we asked him regarding his medication, imagine that this is what the cops are talking, allegedly, about his medication. Of all things they're going to talk to the kid about, right? The young man. He did admit that he was supposed to be taking antidepressant medication, but he related to us that that was part of his problem And that's the reason why he wanted to get away from everybody. He wasn't taking those medications any longer. Don't you guys wonder if he got paid for making this statement? I do. Free to ask questions. Okay, and did he say that taking the medicine was causing his problems? Or are you paraphrasing? No, I believe that's what he said. Of course, it's not on record, right? There's no recording of it. He said something to that effect, that he doesn't want to take that medication because the medication wasn't right for him. And then what did he say in response, as best as you can recall? Imagine that this is supposed to be a real conversation, you guys. He told me that he's prescribed medicine, but he wasn't going to take that anymore. Oh, what a convenient conversation they had, allegedly. Okay, and did he say that was part of his problem? Was taking the medicine? He mentioned something to that effect, that it was the medicine that he didn't like taking. Really? I mean, he didn't like taking the medicine, but he made sure he had 2 refills, right? He did not like. He related that it was an antidepressant medication and he didn't want to take that anymore. That's why he went and got 2 refills, you guys, right? Gotta admit, they're not too bright when they do it, though, are they? I see. Okay, I did not realize that Officer Ka came to the scene. Okay. Okay, so were you physically standing there when Kyle Brennan said that? He was thinking things through. Of course, there's no body cam footage. And he was taking his antidepressant medications because he felt no need to do so. Correct. Wait, where was I here? Mr. Dondar, I'm the attorney for the estate of Kyle Brennan. How is that? The court reporter, better by Mr. Dondar. Question. The report that's typed, did both you and the officer or Detective Ka interview Kyle Brennan at the same time? You can see what they're trying to do here. Man, I would love BJ Investigates to tear this one apart. No, sir. I met Brennan at the 7-Eleven, then called Ka to notify him that Brennan was located. Ka then came out to the scene and spoke with Brennan. Were you present when Detective Ka spoke to Brennan? Yeah. I stayed there until his arrival. Okay, and I was wondering what you added. That's not contained in your report. There you go. Do you have an independent recollection of this? Could you say that again? He's getting nervous. Do you recall this incident without looking at your report? Yeah, good question. Well, I did not look at the report first to refresh my memory. That's how I remembered all of this. Right. The implanted memory, like, mind control. Okay. What's not in your report? Is things where you said the reason why he's in Hawaii is to get away from everyone else? Or something to that effect? Do you recall saying that just a little while ago? I said that, but I didn't write the report. Right. So you remember that? That's what I remembered, but I didn't write the report. Okay, all right. The report doesn't say he no longer wants to take his medication. Yeah, it must be amazing. The report says that he has no need to do so. Well, like I said, I met with Brennan. Things that I said to you over the phone is what I recall. The report is written by Detective Ka, who then came to the scene, spoke to Brennan, so they may have had a different conversation than what I did. Wow. Oh, okay. Did you write your own report? No, I did not. Okay. Because a detective wrote the report, correct? Correct. Ka came to where I was standing with Brennan and spoke with Brennan. Wow, you guys. This is unreal. Oh, I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. I'm there. I meet Brennan. I see him. Ka is notified. He comes out, speaks to me and Brennan. I tell Ka what my findings are. He speaks to Brennan, and then him and Brennan goes off. This is my opinion, that this cop is covering up the details of Scientology's involvement with the suicide that was fast-tracked because Kyle Brennan was not allowed to take his medication. Cop right there, covering it up. Perjuring himself in court. That's my opinion. My opinion. My opinion. You notice I'm not talking about interpersonal relationships or who's in whose chat or anything that idiotic. Excerpts from the deposition of G. Robinson. Okay, that one. Okay. I'm going to just start midway in the conversation. So and then he did indicate that he had some event on the beach. The one they don't mention because it's a lie. Apparently some guy came up, the guy with no name, and assaulted him or slapped him or whatever. Or whatever, you guys. So Brennan's supposed to be there for some event, the unnamed event on the beach, the beach with no name. And then some guy came up, the unnamed guy, and assaulted him or slapped him or whatever. He can't decide was it assault or a slap. I don't know about it specifically, but he kind of, I think, was shaken by the event. And that's when he started to tell you about the incident that occurred in Maui? About being assaulted? Yes, yes. Did he connect the incident somehow through his medication? I think he did. Because, from what I understand, and what he shared with me, is that, the one with no body cam footage, that incident rattled him up a little bit. And he told me, point blank, that the medication kind of calmed him down. Imagine that this is even allowed in court. The cop is saying that Kyle had some event to go to the beach, the beach with no name. And then he gets slapped or assaulted. He can't decide which one it is. On the unnamed beach by an unnamed man, because nobody knows names. And that's what caused him to take his medication or something like that. Something to that effect. It certainly seemed very clear to me that the incident inspired him to take the medication and to remain on it. Imagine this. And that's when he started to tell you about the incident that occurred in Maui, about being assaulted? Yes, yes. The assault that has no police record, right? Because Of course, this guy has to talk in police talk. Did he connect that incident somehow through his medication? I think he did, because from what I understand, and what he shared with me, is that incident rattled him up a little bit. I already read this. And he told me point blank that the medication kind of calmed him down. I mean, wouldn't the judge be suspicious of this? It certainly seemed very clear to me that the incident inspired him to take the medication and to remain on it. I mean, it's just so out there. It's so out there. Were there any, you said the phone call was 2 hours and 28 minutes and was all upbeat. Was there any part of that phone conversation that was not upbeat? I would say that would be limited to the disappointment of what happened while he was in Hawaii. He was upset with that event that happened out there. I guess some person, how is this even allowed into the courts? He got assaulted by some person that nobody knows who it is. He's on a beach that nobody knows which beach it is, because then people could verify if they had seen him or not. Gets assaulted by someone he doesn't know. What else was it? They're all like, I don't know how to explain it, like unidentifiable everything. He told me it was without provocation. He's talking all in cop language. Everyday people don't talk like that. Everyday people don't say, oh yeah, I got assaulted and it was without provocation. People don't talk like that. Cops talk like that. Word. So he was alarmed with that. And then he just had a lot of, I'm putting my lunkhead voice on. Okay, I'm going to turn the phone. Oh boy, hold on. The most significant aspect of Kyle buying his own Lexapro at Walmart is that he knew he needed extra for his trip. And it confirms he knew he needed his Lexapro. Exactly, it's what I was saying. Contrary to the police notes on page 14 of the official report. The treating psychiatrist, Dr. McNamara, stated at his deposition that he never talked to investigator Scholl. Or more importantly, he never would have told her nor anyone that there are no major side effects if one were to suddenly stop taking Lexapro. In the police report, Thomas Brennan states he took the Lexapro from Kyle. Exactly. It's amazing how Scientology or Scientologist gets completely scrubbed from all the reports. Later, he elaborates on this position by stating Kyle agreed with him to stop taking the Lexapro and start taking vitamins, as mandated by Scientology. Oh, there we go. Well, they finally brought the S word up. Contrary to his police interview, Brennan states in deposition that Kyle told him that he takes the Lexapro whenever he needs it, when he felt depressed. I don't think you take that anytime you need it, do you? Isn't that something you're supposed to take every day or something? Brennan deposition, page 128 to 131, 9 through 10. Contrary to the police interview, he told his son he just wanted to look at it because he wondered what it was. Brennan took it from Kyle, looked in the trunk of his car, and never told Kyle the Lexapro was in the trunk. That negates any notion of Kyle voluntarily stopping his Lexapro. Yeah, there you go. Because he stole it from him. If I remember correctly, David Miscavige's sister was involved in this somehow. Hold on. Attention, Ken. Information to disqualify Patrolman Rockwell Silva. It needs to be determined if Detective Ka had contact with someone with the Clearwater Police Department. There you go, you guys, right there. Chain of evidence. Page 8, deposition of Officer Rockwell Silva. The statement made by Silva contradicts the defendant's argument, being that they state that Kyle wasn't taking his medication. Silva states that he was, and that he was a part of the problem. He embellishes the lie with stating that this is why he ran away. On page 10 of the Silva deposition, he repeats his statement. He told me that he's prescribed medicine, but he wasn't going to take it anymore. So they're trying to pin it all on Kyle. It sounds like Narconon and all the other places that they do the same stuff. On page 12, the lies revolving around Detective Ka's report become even more egregious. I was in the state of Florida when I first spoke with Detective Ka. The statement that we had no contact is false. Detective Ka did not go to the 7-Eleven to speak with Kyle. Couldn't they have gone and asked the 7-Eleven employees? Facts. Facts. That's how you have witness statements. They're not always credible, but you can verify if someone has been there. And I mean, even back then we had cams. Easy peasy. Just go look at the 7-Eleven video cams. What's so hard about that? Ka told me the two of his officers recognized Kyle from the photo and called him over to their vehicle. This is when the conversation with Kyle. Oh, this is when they conversed with Kyle, the only time. Detective Ka never personally saw Kyle. He's lying. Oh, so Kyle's lying as well. I mean Ka. He described Kyle to me as how the officers reported information back to him. Oh, I bet LA Streets would love stuff like this. But he focuses on the LAPD. Ka told me that the officer said that Kyle looked good. They asked him to call home. Imagine like them saying something stupid like that. People are supposed to believe that this actually took place the way they are relaying it. Everything to negate what really did happen. They asked him to call home because his mother was worried about him. See why a lot of people don't like to call police? Do you guys see? Do you guys see why? Kyle responded that his cell phone number needed to be recharged. Is there a record of that? The officers asked Kyle if he wanted to be taken to a homeless shelter. What a dumbass thing to say. I mean, I don't think this is real. I don't think any of this happened, but I mean, you got to give him credit for the elaborated lie. That's my opinion. My opinion. My opinion. He's got a wonderful mother at home waiting for him, but he's going to go to a homeless shelter, right? I mean, come on. Kyle said no. Ooh. That he would not feel comfortable in a place like that, as they are not safe. They're just pulling this stuff up out of their behinds, you guys. Because think about this. These are things that the police deal with every day, so we can see the police talk. I hope you guys can follow what I'm saying. I hope you can follow what I'm trying to explain. Kyle told the officers that he came to Maui to check out the island. This is a quote from Kyle. Wow, how poignant that one was. You see how generic the things that they say are? It's generic because it never happened. It's my opinion. My opinion. My opinion of Ka and Silva. I bet you Ka and Silva got promoted after this. Don't you guys think? How much do you bet? Go check it out. Kyle told officers, listen to this bullshit. Kyle told the officers that he came to Maui. Oh, I already read this one. Okay, I asked Ka if he knew where Kyle was staying. He stated the islands are easy on people. You can roll under a bush if you need a place to sleep here. How is that an answer to the question, you guys? Does that sound like an answer? Sounds like a gaslight to me. Doesn't it sound like a gaslight, you guys? It's easy. You either knew where Kyle was staying or you didn't know where Kyle was staying. It's not hard. It's not hard. The next day, he brought a tent and some camping gear from Kmart. Oh, I missed the one sentence. We know that Kyle stayed at a resort on his first night in Hawaii. You know, the resort with no name, you guys. The resort with no name. The resort with no receipts of how much Kyle Brennan paid for the hotel stay. And now this, listen to more genericness. The next day, he bought a tent and some camping gear from Kmart. Where's the receipts? Police officers. Policía. ¿A dónde las receipts? I love breaking this apart. Okay, so the fact that Kyle was continuing to post for his course and take a quiz on December 5th, 2006, does that run against the conclusion that he ran away? What about that, Ka? What about that, Silva? You guys don't, as far as I'm concerned, you don't even deserve the respect of officer. I'm going to just call you by your last name like we did in the military. That would be a curious thing to exist at the same time, to call somebody running away, but also at the same time completing a responsibilities in class. Yes. Was that are we talking about, is she talking about a Scientology course? Don't you guys wonder what course they were making him take? His daddy was making him take? I do. I don't think Kyle Brennan wanted to be in Scientology. I don't believe he was a Scientologist, but I have to look deeper into it. I'm not sure of all like the details. Look at this, you guys. Estate of Kyle Thomas Brennan, by and through the administrator, Victoria L. Britton. That's his mother, plaintiff. Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization, Incorporated, Dennis Miscavige Gentile. Apparently, Denise had a marijuana habit. No shade. I mean, all the shit they go through, who wouldn't? Gerald Gentile, I believe that's Denise's husband, and Thomas Brennan. On September 8th, 2007, attorney Luke Leroux sent an email containing a summary of his initial meeting and conversation with Detective Bowling. Here's another cop name. How many stories have we heard about really dirty detectives? Apparently, in some departments, that's what gives you your little creds. It was later revealed that the narrative about Kyle giving a medication to his father was fabricated. at a later time in order to shield the defendants from accountability in the wrongful death lawsuit. Yeah, and it appears to me that Officer Ka and Officer Silva were 100% involved. Okay, I'm going to have to turn the screen for this one. Subject, notes on my meeting with Detective Bowling. Dear Miss Britton, I apologize for not getting back to you yesterday, but I wanted to formalize my notes of the meeting that I had with Detective Bowling. I was not aware of it before, but he had been a longtime partner of my friend and neighbor blank blank. Is now a bailiff at the Pinellas County's courthouse. Oh, there you go, you guys. Always got to be a Clearwater and a Pinellas County connection, doesn't there? That's why, I'm sorry at this point, the police officers and sheriffs that were allegedly, trying to out Scientology, I just couldn't trust them. They have to really show me some receipts to make me believe that they're actually legit. Okay, so I don't really know what I'm reading here, you guys, but this is part of the email. Oh, this is a receipt, you guys. Bro, you guys. This is black and white evidence that the father took the medication from Kyle. How you like that, Sciento? Was either taken away by the father or the father influenced Kyle to abate the use of the prescriptions, focusing instead on healthy exercise and a better diet that doesn't get rid of psychosis or depression. It can help depression, but doesn't get rid of things. As Bowling said, the father had discussed with Kyle. The medical examiner was also consulted, the one with no name, and apparently opined that the forced or cajoled removal of the medication from Kyle's availability could not be shown to have resulted in such a swift or tragic consequence. So now what, the cops are the courts? Is that what we're trying to say? As Bowling states, the medical examiner is of the opinion that the medication Kyle was supposed to take takes a relatively long period of time to have any positive impact, and discontinuation would not result in any immediate psychotropic response. The results in both directions being too gradual to delineate as a result of any discrete or distinct act. So they were already building up a cover-up case. Do you guys see that? But right there was the evidence that the father did take the medication away. So they already knew that was already out there. So now we're going to try to say, well, taking him off the medication wouldn't bother him. But now he's dead. So, must be a coincidence. And if I gathered information correctly, it sounds like Scientology had him on some courses. But I could be wrong about that. MAUI Police Department information pertaining to the assault of Kyle Brennan. Yeah, that is weird. Me personally, I don't believe that story for 1 second. Tell me I don't get the juice, you guys. But yet I got the magic 20 views every day of my life. Duquesne el Exiliado. A lot of Spanish names in Hawaii. Or are those Japanese? Oh, I wish I could read this, you guys. It's too small for me to read, but my opinion, it was just doctored up. There's some doctored up paperwork, in my opinion. I don't know if this was Brennan's car. Silva's perjured testimony was used by attorneys. Was Moxon the Foxon in there? Was used by attorneys representing the Church of Scientology against the estate of Kyle Brennan in the 11th Circuit United States Court of Appeals in Jacksonville, Florida, on September 14th, 2012. The recorded exchange between Detective Bowling and attorney Lee Fugate. Hold on, guys. Okay, I clicked on that video. It's 48 minutes, so I'm not going to go through all that right now. But I will go check that out later. Maybe you guys want to check that video out. I don't know if it's been scrubbed, but good to check out. Okay, so the questioner, I believe, is one of the attorneys, and then the answer, I believe, is Silva. I believe you said that he reported to you that he had a nice visit in Hawaii. Is that correct? He mentioned he enjoyed his time in Hawaii. It was interesting. Imagine all these generic terms. You're telling me that the judge wasn't suspicious of this? How many times have you guys gone on to like a great trip that you're really having a great time? And that's all you would say, that he enjoyed it and it was interesting? Especially when you're in your 20s. There would have been a lot of things you would have shared with the cops, which that's why there's no details, because in my opinion, it never happened. Tell me more about what he said about his trip to Hawaii. Well, he indicated that he stayed at a couple of hotels, you know, the ones with no names, you guys. And as I understand, he camped out on the beach for a while. He was on Maui. I shared with him that I loved Maui personally. I had been there. All this genericness. I enjoyed it, and so we just kind of got the general flavor. What did you think of the weather, the people, things along that line? More genericness, you guys. So just for our own generic, general information, it's my opinion, that when these dirty cops, or perhaps a dirty politician or whomever's dirty district attorney, whomever's involved, anytime you see all this generic shit, it's just a made-up story. That's my opinion. Have you guys ever gone on to a trip? Let's just say you went to Maui. Is that what you're going to say, especially as, what was he, like 26, 27 years old? Oh, it's just interesting? He'd have been like, it's effing radical, or, you know, something wild. You know, beautiful beaches, beautiful women, whatever. You know, that's what he would have been saying. But we're all supposed to believe this. Just like a lot of people are supposed to believe the fake news. So it was, you know, and then he did indicate that he had some event. You know, the event, oh, that was it. That was the one I couldn't remember. You guys, don't you love this? Kyle Brennan had some event that nobody knows what the name of it was. And then he went to some beach that nobody knows the name of it was, because you know why? Because other people could corroborate whether he was at that beach or not. That's why. You know, apparently some guy came up. You know, oh, and then here's the other one, the guy that, you know, with no name. The guy with no name, there's no witnesses, there's no name of the beach, there's no name of the event. It's because it doesn't exist, that's why. And my favorite is like, the cop couldn't decide whether he assaulted or slapped him, which, I mean, slapping is assault as well, but, you know, cop talk. I don't know about it specifically, but he kind of, I think he was shaken by the event. So some guy slaps you and you're like, ooh, as a man, you're just so shaken, you guys. You're so shaken on the pretend beach that doesn't exist, with the pretend event that doesn't exist, and the pretend assaulter that doesn't freaking exist. You're shaken by it. Ah, lunkheads. During this long conversation with Kyle, did you have any discussions with him about his mother, Victoria? Oh, this should be good. To the extent that his mom was concerned about him and that he should give her a call. Wow, way to put the information out there, you guys. And he was feeling actually regretful that he wasn't more responsive to her. More cop idiocracy. And so I think he was feeling badly that he should have followed up. I mean, listen to this. Listen to this. How could this have possibly been accepted in a court of law? Oh, what I wouldn't give for BJ Investigates to just tear the shit out of this one. Oh, I would love for her to tear it apart. Or even down the rabbit hole, man. Kyle and his mom had a very, very close, loving relationship. Wow, how detailed can we get, you guys? And they were very warm, and he was a good, loving, caring young man. Yeah, that's why you threw him under the bus, you freaking loser, corrupt cop. In my opinion, you're a loser, bum, corrupt cop. That's what I think you are. And that's free for me to have an opinion that you're a lunkhead, corrupt, disgusting, repugnant human being, pretend cop. And so I think he was feeling badly about that. Ooh, way to get details, you guys. I mean, I told you guys I was military police. Go look it up. I don't care. I have nothing to hide in my history. Zero. Zero. Did he indicate that he was going to call her? He indicated that he would call her. I did mention to him that I fully intended on calling her after the conversation. Wow, way to go deep. You guys, I need more coffee. I feel like I need a shower after this. Did you have any conversation about Kyle? So that's it, you guys. Tell me I didn't get a golden egg right here, you guys. Come on. Come on. I'm a little proud of this one. Let's see if this video gets the magic 20. I've worked on my audio. I've worked on my thumbnails. I'm lessening the swears. I'm not 100% out of the swears. There's more I'm going to do in the future. I want to end. Anyways, I'll tell you guys about it later. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please share it with as many people as you can. Share it with Scientologists. Share it with ex-Scientologists. Share it with the government officials that aren't corrupt. Share it with police officers that have ethics and conscience and want to do the right thing. Share it with Child Protective Services, whomever you want to. Like and subscribe. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.